back to a new tutorial. The main two materials are the headband. The headband can be pretty much any size that you want. I am using a 1.5 inch headband. Then I cut the fabric 6 inches by 27. I'll add the centimeters here on the screen. What I do next is fold it in half, the rectangle that I cut, and then I draw the seam allowance of 0.25. That's 1/4 inches, and I draw it with a color pencil that's white. You can use chalk, you can use a color pencil, just as long as it's a line that you can see. Before I go to the sewing machine, I just go to my ironing station and iron. Then once I iron my fabric so it's nice and crisp, I go to my sewing machine and I sew following that line that I drew. That is my seam allowance, and that's what's going to create the pipe. Next, I fold it in half, like push it down with the iron. As you can see, it has like this wide opening. You don't want it to be left as a tube, you want to flatten it. You want to flatten it down and iron the seam allowance down so it's a cleaner finish and it's wider. This way, once you apply it, it has a clean finish, it's nice, crisp, and the shape of the scrunchiness will become better. Now, what I do now is that I turn it inside out. You can use a device like there's a metal thing that you can use to do that. I'll add it to the description so you can get the material. And then what I do is that I put the headband in through the end, and then it scrunches up. And one last thing to do is close the opening. So you see that little opening there? I fold the edges in, and as you can see, it does get a little bit like messy because the fabric is pushing down because there's excess, but that excess fabric is what will create the scrunchiness. And so I fold it in, I take safety pins and pin it. This will make it easier to sew with a needle and thread. Make sure it's a contrasting thread, and if it's not, like it's covered by your hair when you're wearing it, people are not really going to notice the colored thread. However, if you want a nice clean finish, I definitely recommend that you use the same colored thread as the fabric. And I'm pretty much just using a back stitch. I go in and out and I keep on securing it. The rectangle, if you want to make it more of a volume, make it wider. If you want to create more crunch, make the rectangle longer. And then other than that, you'll pretty much continue getting these results. It's a shining leftover fabric scrap project that you can do whenever you have those fabrics lying around. Ooh, and then something else that you can do, you can actually take, let's say, scraps, sew it together into the rectangle size that you need, and then create this scrunchy headband. That'll make it even more unique because it'll create this like mixed media of fabrics as the scrunchiness of your headband. If you made it this far to the tutorial, make sure to comment with this emoji, and I will see you guys to shine together once more next Wednesday with Wednesday's vlog with Kara and Sunday's sewing tutorials with Style. All done in Kara styles. Sigan brillando.